in and see Ronaldo Kia for all the details. But hurry, the offer ends soon. Call 704-406-8100 or shop online at RonaldoKia.com. Ronaldo Kia, 4425 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. 0% financing for up to 60 months with approved credit.
Perfectly for Central, so it's second and very short now, just outside the goal line, 25-yard line.
Second and a short one. It's a toss again to Whitesides. He's around the right side, and he's got a first down. I think tackle made by that's Demario Houston, but not until Whitesides has a first down, as he's down to the 23, a pickup of a couple. And, RS isn't doing it with big plays, but they're doing it 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, and it's keeping the clock moving and keeping the chains moving.
And that was the quick pitch, and that was the play that South Point ran for about an 80-yard touchdown early in the game last week.
All right. Looks like we got sound on the radio and the internet, so that's a win for us.
And even more importantly, a win for the Golden Lions, because Central tried to run that fan play that they'd had so much success with, and this time it was snuffed out. Golden Lions hit the fullback in the backfield for a 1-yard loss, and so that's now second down and 11. And what was great about that was we hit the fullback in the backfield. Quarterback wanted to pull it, but he couldn't, and it's really hard to pull that ball when somebody's draped onto it around the ball carrier.
This is the 13th play of this drive, Coach, so pretty nice drive here for the Hilltoppers. And now Tate's rolling right, and he's getting chased. He's going to throw it behind the intended receiver. No flags on the play. Coverage by Damian Key, one of the linebackers, and the receiver's slow to get up on that play. That's 24, Devin Adele, who caught the 28-yard pass from Tate earlier on the last drive.
Golden Lions had good pressure that time, but Tate is a quite elusive runner, and I thought where we might be in a sack situation, he actually got around the contained man, and I think he made a bad decision. He should have kept that ball. I think if he'd kept that ball, he would have got about 6 or 7 yards. So 3rd down and 11, and based on what I've seen on film, I don't think Central has anybody that can kick the ball, so I think they're definitely in 4-down territory.
Well, Tate's back, and huge rush by Shelby. Gary and Addison's the guy that got there, but all he did is scare Tate away right into the arms of Siobhan Miller. Miller with a sack for the Golden Lions all the way back at the 32-yard line, so that's a loss of 8 yards and a big play by the Shelby defense.
So now we go to 4th and 18 or 19, and again, Central's going to go for it or punt it because they have nobody that can kick this far, and I just imagine they're going to go for it from the Shelby 32-yard line. Closing in on 8 minutes left in the first half.
Line to make is the Shelby 13, ball on the 32. 4th and 19, Tate back, and he takes a deep drop, and he's going to just air it out. He's got a man behind the Shelby defense, but it's caught, dropped, and a flag down. This could be pass interference on the Golden Lions.
It could be, and I can understand the call if it is the call, and it's no more egregious than what we saw Central get away with a little bit earlier, but it is indeed going to be a pass interference on the Golden Lions. Now, I don't know if this is automatic first down or not. If it's automatic first down, that's that much worse. Otherwise, it's going to be 4th down and short.
Well, they've marked off a 15-yard penalty.
Yep, and it is a 4th down. In high school, pass interference is a 15-yard penalty, and it's not automatic first down, but this is a much better situation for Central. It's going to be 4th and 4 on the Golden Lion 17.
And Tate's back in the shotgun. He rolls right. He's got pressure from Shelby, and he goes down. He throws it out of bounds. That's going to be an intentional grounding, and I think on a 4th down play, it was incomplete anyway. Let's see if Shelby's going to get some yards out of this, if nothing else.
Well, if it's intentional grounding, I thought intentional grounding was a loss of down.
And it was 4th down, so I was wondering,
Shelby should actually take that penalty if it's.
Well, it's a from the spot, which is all the 10 yards back, and then another 5. But evidently,
Shelby didn't take it.
They didn't take it. They take over on downs.
The official looked over and basically said, "You want to decline this, right?" And I don't think he was thinking, and I think he kind of talked the Golden Lion coaching staff into a bad decision that time if it was intentional grounding and loss of down. Regardless, Shelby has the ball 1st and 10 on their 17-yard line.
And Shelby quick with R.J. George rolling out right. He's got pressure from the backside, and he airs it out. Diving catch made by Jaden Borders up at the 33-yard line. He kind of did a sliding catch there.
It was a really nice catch and a pretty good throw under some duress by Golden Lion quarterback R.J. George, and that's about, a 16-yard gain that time.
And a Pigram Insurance first down for the Golden Lions. They're up to the 33 and quickly up. 3 receivers left, 1 right, and the ball's on the ground. R.J. George picks it up, then he falls down and fumbles it again, and they said his knee was down. So this is the 3rd straight week, I guess you could say, where R.J. has had a good snap to him that he's just started rolling out without the football and then had trouble picking it up.
And he did that Friday night. That was the turnover that the Golden Lions suffered just before we had the lightning delay. So that's about an 8-yard loss, so now it's going to be 2nd down and 18 for the Golden Lions.
The other 2 times the other team recovered it. At least this time Shelby held on to it, and R.J. airs one out deep. Chad Reed, he's got it! 25-20. He's going to score. 75 yards from R.J. George to Chad Reed, and I tell you what, you can't hit a guy more in stride perfectly than that pass was thrown, but in double coverage, Chad makes a great catch.
That was pretty incredible. So with 6:48 left in the half, Shelby with a 75-yard touchdown pass, R.J. George to Chad Reed, and it was thrown perfectly. Chad had about 2 inches on the coverage, and he just made a fantastic. It was a great throw, but it was maybe even a better catch because Chad had to have great, just great concentration to get that ball.
I'll tell you, good snap, good hold, kicks up and through. Shelby 14, RS Central 0 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. 6:48 to go, second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds for a Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Check out the new storage buildings at the Roundup store in Shelby. Come see the new vinyl siding storage building and the new T111 wooden siding building. And the Roundup store's wooden buildings are built to last and last. And check out their line of beautiful kitchen cabinets. Make your dream kitchen a reality. The Roundup Store, 1610 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 8:30 till 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8:30 till noon on Saturday. Online at roundupshelby.com.
Back to Shelby High, where courtesy of an Ed Green Construction Take It to the House TD.
And that was take it to the house, 75 yards, just a heck of a pass. And as I said earlier, maybe even a better catch by Chad Reed.
And Reed continues his touchdowns in every game this year with that 75-yard haul from R.J. George. And R.J. is 4 for 4 tonight so far, having an excellent night. Wright's kickoff goes deep to the 3. That's taken by Whitesides, and he's up the right sideline. And great coverage by, is that Joe Barnes, 27?
I think it is. Joe's been hurt, and we've really missed him for the last couple of weeks. And nice to see him back out on the field because Joe kind of came out of nowhere this year. Nobody had heard much of Joe, and he had earned that starting position, and then he got hurt, and so he'd been out for the last couple of weeks, so it was really nice. And that was a really good catch by the deep man. Shelby was trying to kick away from their deep man, and had that catch not been made, Richard would have kicked that in the end zone, but it actually turns out good for us that he didn't.
No doubt about it. And great coverage by Joe as he gets 19-yard lines, is line that they're starting on, and it's kind of a delayed little trap play, and that's 5. So that's McIntyre.
Yeah, that's a true wing tee play now. That's actually called the stutter trap. And when you've been having some success running your fullback, what you do is you bring the slot back into motion, and the quarterback reverses out as if he's handing it to the fullback, but instead he steps back and hands it to the halfback, and the trap action going the other way, and the Golden Lions sniffed that out pretty well, so it's going to be 2nd down and 7.
In motion goes Whitesides, and the ball's on the ground as Tate took it out of Ashley's belly and then couldn't keep a handle on it. Siobhan Miller's there to get the sack, really, or at least the tackle for loss.
And that play is completely symbolic of the difficulties with the triple option, because that's the first time that I've really noticed the quarterback really blew the read on that, because Ashley's running downfield, nobody's around him, and the reason that nobody's around him is because 3 people are around the quarterback. So he definitely should have handed that ball. But now that brings up 3rd down and very long, and it's not going to be quite as long because actually G9 jumped off, and the minute he jumped off, he pointed over at Central as if they had done something. And actually where the flag flew, it does look like it's going to be on Central, and it is. Generally, if it's an offsides penalty or encroachment penalty, the flag comes from the sides. If it's a illegal procedure penalty, the flag comes from the umpire. And so the fact that the umpire threw that flag made me think that maybe G9 knew what he was talking about, and he did. So that's a 5-yard penalty, 3rd and very long now.
And Tate back in the shotgun. It looks like they have a screen set up, and he takes off and dangerously close to a face mask by the Golden Lions. I think Kent Clemens gets the sack down back at the 11-yard line. It's only a loss of 1. It looked like they were trying to set the screen up, and it was covered, and Shelby was back to Tate so quickly that he had to just tuck it and run, and Clemens pulled him down kind of by the collar
Yeah, I guess it was by the collar because I was just like you. I thought for sure that was going to be a face mask penalty. But it wasn't, and so Golden Lions should get great field position. The two receivers are on the central side of the field. This ball's going to be kicked from about the goal line.
And Shelby doesn't bring too much pressure. They sit the return up. It bounces at the 39 and takes an RS Central bounce, hits off the leg of McIntyre, and Shelby's going to take over in great shape at the 47-yard line of RS Central.
It was a pretty good punt, though. It actually turns out to be about a 35-yard punt, but it was a good job of just having the ball roll. So Central's had 2 punts. Both punts have been 35 yards. But Shelby starts off on the Central 47 with 4:22 left in the half.
And Chad Reed split into the slot. Buck Ushery's the running back. And a new face in there, Devin Gillette, seeing his first action at wide receiver, and he's got a crossing pattern. But RJ's going up top. He sees Cavassier shell deep, and nice coverage by Tate. It was a little underthrown by RJ as Cavassier looked like he had a step, but Tate made some good coverage there.
Yeah, and I was pretty impressed. Central brought 5, and the Golden Lions picked it up, and that's one of the better pockets that RJ's had a chance to step into, and he stepped into it, and I was expecting to have a touchdown pass, and sure enough, the best throwing angle he'd had in quite some time, he underthrows it slightly, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 now.
Read off the field, Caleb Jolly in, and back to throw, and rolling left is R.J. George, and he's setting his feet, and he goes up top, and that was kind of an odd play. Had Jaden Borders covered, blanketed really by 24, Adele, but Cavassier Shell was wide open because his defender fell down, but Cavassier wasn't even looking for the football, so I'm not sure if that was what happened there. A little bit of confusion, but the fall's incomplete, and really the only guy that got his hand on it was Adele.
Yeah, and even more disconcerting is the fact that RJ did a great job to get out to the corner, and he could have turned and run that for about 15 yards. So it just wasn't a very good play for the Golden Lions, but it's 3rd down and 10 now with 4:06 left in the first half.
Now Shelby with a 2-back set, and it's going to be a handoff to Chad Reed, the second guy through, and he's trying to bull his way for yardage. He's got about 5, but it's unfortunately going to bring up 4th and 5. Let's see what Shelby does. It's on the 42-yard line of RS Central, but it's 4th and 5.
4th and 5 with about 3:50, and the clock is ticking. And the second half, Central will receive the kickoff to begin the second half, but Shelby's in their formation, and they're at least going to think about going for it on 4th down here.
Play clock at 10. And in is Demario Houston at a receiver slot. 2 running backs, and George is back. Now he's running for his life. He reverses field, and he's running to the left side. And he's got running room, but he's going to chunk it up deep. And again, throws it into coverage when he had guys open underneath. So that was one of those series where RJ went for the home run ball and had a couple of things that maybe he'll wish he had seen on the film. But the good news is no interception and no turnover, but RS is going to take over in pretty good position at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, in fact, I think we might have been a little bit better off had it been intercepted because the Central guy got his hands on it about the 10-yard line, and, of course, now he could have had just a great run back, but that was just an interesting series that time by the Golden Lions. So Central has it on their own 42-yard line with 3:20 left.
And Tate under center, in motion goes Whitesides, and he's going to roll out right towards Whitesides, and he's got him open but overshoots him. Coverage by Damian Key. And I think with a better throw there, Whitesides has a first down.
Yeah, with a better throw, Whitesides got about an 18-yard gain that time. And he did have an open receiver that he missed, but I tell you what, Tate could have turned that up and run it for about 15 yards as well. So one of the things I expect to happen, I think both coaching staffs are going to talk to their quarterback about, there's nothing wrong with running that thing 15 yards if you can.
Right, and you wonder if got a little greedy after the long touchdown pass, tried to do it again. But I'd like to see a couple of those Ralph Jolly-esque passes. And Tate calls his own number on the option. He's slung down. I don't think he had a pitch guy there. I'm not sure what happened. Again,
that is that fan play, and it's a double option. You either give it to the fullback right up the gut, right up the center, right up the center's butt, or you keep it off tackle. And the Golden Lions played that perfectly. I mean, that is the best job that we've done tonight at running at playing that particular double option. And there was just nowhere for him to go. And so that was a really good job by the Golden Lions that time. So it's 3rd and 10, 2:39. Clock is still ticking. And I think Central tried.
12 guys.
Central tried to take a timeout when they did break the huddle with 12, and they did. So that's Central's 3rd and final timeout. Of course, there's only 2 minutes and 36 seconds left. Golden Lions have all 3 of theirs left.
I'll tell you what, Steve Roberts, let's take a 30-second break while we can, and we'll be back after this.
For over 100 years, the Stamey Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added a new cremation center along with their new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. And they want to take this time to invite you to their open house Sunday afternoon, October 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville.
Back to Shelby High. Golden Lions lead the Hilltoppers 14-0. RS Central football, 3rd and 10. Tate rolls out. He's got pressure from Garyon Addison, and he's going to chunk it. And he's got a man wide open deep, and that's complete. This could be a touchdown. 10-5, touchdown. Matt Ashley gets behind the defense, and RS closes the gap. 14-6 on a big 3rd and 10 play. A little bit of a breakdown in the Shelby secondary on that one.
Yeah, that was about a 20-yard breakdown because Ashley was so far behind everybody that it was just a matter of throwing it anywhere in the general direction, he was going to be able to get it. So that's a big play, 58-yard pass from Tate. And so with 2:24 left in the half, that closes it down to a one-score game.
For the extra point is big number 60, Luther Herrera.
And big number 21 for the Golden Lions, that's Aaron Jolly, blocked it.
Kick no good. Golden Lions on top, 14-6. Let's take 30 seconds, and we'll be back for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
Oh no, it's total mayhem.
Hurry, call your good neighbor.
You can't. They're not even there.
Why, they can't even lend a good hand. Oh. Relax. At Pegram Insurance, we've got you covered. Pegram Insurance Agency, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and in the Town & Country Shopping Center in Lincoln.
Pretty good timing there, Steve Roberts. We just had Pegram Insurance on the internet at the same time we had that spot. Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff for RS Central. And I tell you, Shelby is having the same problems on defense they've had in the first couple of weeks, and that's you get a couple of big plays and then you give up a really big play. That time it was actually getting behind the defense, and that seems to be Shelby's thing. It's a bunch of tackles for losses, and then it seems like they're getting hit for a big play here and there. Jaden Borders has a little bit of trouble with handling the kickoff. He picks it up, and he's gang tackled at the 21-yard line. Shelby takes over there. 2:16 to go first half. Golden Lions still lead 14-6, but it's a little bit tighter, Coach, than it was a minute ago.
And we talk all the time about a game of momentum, and all the mo was on Shelby's side, and then they went for it on 4th and 5, and now the momentum has shifted back over to the Central side, and Shelby, if they don't do anything with the ball right now, Central's going to get it only going to be down one score going into the second half.
And you mentioned a minute ago they will get the opening kickoff of the second half, so let's see if Shelby can put one of their patented minute-and-a-half drives together for a touchdown. George back to pass on first down, and this time he's looking over the middle, and he's got Devin Gillette. That was opened earlier, and this time Gillette turns it into a big gain. He's across the 40. And I tell you what, I saw Gillette go over to RJ after that last series and said, man, twice I did that drag route, and you went deep. And this time he found him, and it's a big hookup. Pickup of 20, and Gillette's first catch of the season. He's been out with an injury. Pegram Insurance first down, Golden Lions. RS creeping up, and R.J. George is back to pass, and he's looking up again, and he's got another guy over the middle. And there's Chad Reed with another Pegram Insurance first down, and he's into RS territory at the 40. Coach, he's looking underneath, and he's found a 20-yarder and a 19-yarder on back-to-back plays.
You know, there's not a darn thing wrong with throwing that ball underneath, especially when you got the weapons that he has running underneath. And so now 1:53 left, Golden Lions all the way down to the 39 of RS Central.
So that's a pickup of 20.
Might even run the ball right now since Central's looking for a pass.
Back to pass is RJ. He's got pressure, and he turns away from it, and he's going to chuck it. He's actually got a guy over there, Buck Ussery, and he overthrows it. But that's legal.
Yeah, and that time Central brought an extra man right up the gut. And I tell you what, RJ did a really nice job getting away from that because he looked like he was dead to rights going to be sacked. But good job by RJ, and he had the wherewithal to go ahead and throw it out of bounds near enough a receiver that he didn't get a penalty.
Wow, RS was a guy way late coming in. That's the defensive end as they were a guy short. RJ snaps it. He's got time. He sits in the pocket. Now he's got pressure. He rolls right, and the flag comes down in the backfield, but another pass complete over the middle, and Chad Reed's got it, and he puts his head down and runs right over the cornerback.
Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those wonderful 18, 20-yard penalties because there's going to be a hold way back at the 48-yard line. And, yeah, that was a hold. And so, like I said, it's going to be one of those 19-yard penalties. So the Golden Lions are going to be second down and about 29. In fact, the umpire got lost, and so he's going back now trying to figure out where the spot of the foul is.
Well, the line of scrimmage was the 39. If the play would have stood, well.
Oh, okay. So what we've got is we've got offsetting penalties. We had a holding penalty and a face mask penalty, and so that explains why he went back. So instead of second and 39, and I tell you what, the middle safety for RS has just fallen down on the 25-yard line, grabbing his knee. I mean, you had to think it was some type of cramp, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. It is going to be a cramp. I mean, I thought surely it had to be a cramp, and so he's being tended to right now, laying on the 25-yard line. So 1:24 left in the first half. Golden Lions second and 10 on the RS 39-yard line. Middle safety, I think that I can't see the number, Brent. I think it might be number 20.
If it is, that's Ashley.
That's Ashley, and I can understand why he might have a cramp because he has been Mr. Everything. And I think it is, yeah.
So he's coming off slowly. And but the good news is he's coming off on his own power as he got that stretched out. So Shelby's facing a second and 10, and what a wild play. RJ goes back, has all kinds of time, but couldn't find an open receiver. He rolls right with pressure. There's a hold by Shelby 8 yards deep in the backfield. RJ rolls out, finds Chad Reed. Chad breaks about 3 tackles and gets 9 yards. And everything comes back to right where it was on the rewind because of the offsetting penalties. Second down and 10 from the RS 39. George back to pass. A little bit of a low snap, but he handles it. Now he rolls out to his right, and he's looking downfield, and he's going to have to tuck it and run, and he does, and he's got pretty good yardage. He picks up about 7. And, Coach, you hit it. You know, sometimes that's not a bad play. He also gets out of bounds and stops the clock with 1:09 to go.
As far as stopping the clock's not a big issue anyway because the Golden Lions have all 3 of their timeouts. But the big thing is he made positive yardage that time instead of just chunking it deep downfield. So it's third down and 4, maybe a short 4, long 3. Shelby could still run this ball if they needed to. There's 1:09 left in the half, and they have all 3 timeouts.
Chad Reed, the lone back. And it's a low snap again, handled by RJ. And he's got a guy over the middle, throws it a little bit behind Jaden Borders. Jaden was kind of coming in on a little, wasn't really a curl, but a little slant maybe.
Yeah, I guess it was a slant. He started out way outside and was running a pretty good slant, and he was open, but RJ just threw it behind him. A little bit of pressure that time. RJ had to get rid of it, but that brings back to another fourth down, 4th and 4. 1:04 left. in the half, 32-yard line, a little bit too far for a field goal.
Wouldn't mind seeing that RJ draw, but it's Chad Reed getting the call, and he's got a Pegram Insurance first down as he plows his way down to the 25. That's a pickup of 7.
I think there's 7 to 10 yards anytime that Shelby wants to run it right now. Again, still all 3 timeouts. The clock is not running yet because they're setting it, and now it starts, and so we're just now under 1 minute.
1st and 10, and it is a Chad Reed handoff, and he's got yardage inside the 20, and he's running hard. He gets out of bounds about the 17-yard line. He picks up another 7 or 8 yards there.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with running that ball when they're giving it to you, because Central's trying to bring guys upfield, and they're definitely trying to run some type of pass defense behind it, and so the linebackers are pretty much non-existent. So nothing wrong with that. So 2nd down and 3, still 48.4 seconds, and all 3 timeouts left. You can still run this ball right now. Reed
switches from George's left to his right, and George goes back to pass, and he can't find a guy to his left. Now he's looking right. He's got 2 guys there. It's up for grabs, just out of the reach of Demario Houston. I think Demario got a hand on it, but it was just a little bit too many guys there.
Yeah, you ended up, the play kind of broke down, and so receivers start trying to find empty spots to run into, and by the time that RJ started to throw it, there were 2 Golden Lions and 2 Central Hilltoppers in the area. Now, Shelby's in what looks more like a running formation right now with 39.9 seconds left, 3rd down.
3rd and 2, and it is a handoff to the second man through, but all over it is McIntyre. He hits Chad Reed in the backfield, and Reed's going to lose a couple back to the 19, and now the clock's running down. Shelby's got to think about calling a timeout.
Oh, well, it's 4th down right now. I don't know if we don't just run that thing down to about 5 seconds and kick a field goal.
Looks like that's what Shelby might do. So a loss of 2 on the play. And Shelby is going to run it down. There's 10 on the game clock. Down to 6, and they're obviously going to call a timeout. Coach Ware standing there, and he does with 1.8 seconds to go. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back with this field goal attempt after this message.
Considering hardwood flooring for your home? Then head to Flooring America in Kings Mountain or Carpet One Interiors in Ranlow. Right now at both locations, you'll find a big selection of in-stock hardwoods on sale. Priced as low as $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. At Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain and Carpet One Interiors in Ranlow.
We all hear about how good the barbecue is in Lexington, Greensboro, and in eastern North Carolina. But here in Cleveland County, we all know that the best barbecue is here. At Alston Bridges Barbecue, Kent and Linda Bridges and their family make sure the staple of their restaurant is the best barbecue. Your choice, pork, beef, or chicken, plus delicious sides, such as slaw, beans, fries, and hush puppies. The best since Alston and Mabel opened in 1955. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
All right, 1.8 seconds to go. Richard Wright in for a 37-yard field goal attempt. Low snap, R.J. George gets it down. Pretty good-looking kick if it's on target, but it's pulled wide left. And I think Wright got plenty of leg in it, Coach. It was just pulled a hair. And that's going to end the first half with Shelby on top, 14-6 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with our halftime show sponsored by Doctors Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby. Through the years, I've seen a lot of trophies and plaques, and none appear nicer than those which come from Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies. Their guarantee is not just a guarantee, but a promise for courteous service, the absolute lowest price, quality products, on-time delivery, and most of all, your satisfaction. Awards for all occasions, plus rubber stamps and engraving. That's Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby.
former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
Carolina Energies is your heating and air service experts. They service all brands and feature complete installations. 24-hour service is available with on-call technicians. And this spring and summer, keep your family comfortable with a peace of mind service plan from Carolina Energies. It will keep you cool and save you money on costly repairs. For more information, call 704-482-9561. Carolina Energies, 515 North DeKalb Street in Shelby.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Your local Allstate agency is the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance Agency, 404 Cherryville Road, across from the YMCA in Shelby. Call 704-484-3463.
Welcome to the halftime show, again sponsored by Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care. 9th year sponsoring our halftime show. And, Coach, we started this first half Friday night. We got just a little over 6 minutes in. Shelby led 7-0. We picked it up from there. Shelby got out to a 14-0 lead, and then RS got a little bit closer once you go over the Okie Tire recap. And we'll see what got us to this point.
Okay, with the first quarter with 10:02 left, Buck Ushery had a 5-yard touchdown run. Wright's point after touchdown made it 7-0. And it was 6:48 left in the first half. Chad Reed had a 75-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it 14-0. And then with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first half, actually had a 58-yard pass from Tate. The extra point was blocked, and that makes it 14-6. Shelby had a nice little drive to end the first half, but were foiled by a missed field goal, 36-yard field goal that was missed wide left. And so the halftime score, Shelby leads 14-6. As far as first downs are concerned, the Golden Lions have 7 first downs. And Central also has 7 first downs. Golden Lions have been guilty of 8 penalties. Yes, that's 8 penalties for 60 yards. And Central has been guilty of 3 penalties for 15 yards. Golden Lions have turned it over once on a fumble, and the Hilltoppers have turned it over once on an interception. So statistics, as far as first downs and things like that, are relatively close, and the game's relatively close. Now, I think Brent's going to be ready to go over our statistics for the first half.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. The Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet, and we'll start with RS Central Hilltoppers leading rusher in the first half, Matt Atchley with 10 carries for 25 yards. Tyrese Tate had 9 carries for 16 yards. Desmond Whitesides, 4 carries, 6 yards, and Tyron McIntyre, 2 carries for 3 yards. So just 50 yards on 25 carries for RS Central. Passing, Tate's just 2 for 7 with an interception, but he's got 86 yards and a touchdown. So Matt Atchley on the receiving end of the touchdown pass, that covered 58 yards, and Devin Adele had a 28-yard grab earlier in the game. So 136 total yards for the Hilltoppers. For Shelby, leading rusher Chad Reed with 9 carries for 44 yards. Buck Usry has 2 carries for 7 yards, including a 5-yard touchdown run. And R.J. George has 3 carries for -7 yards and a lost fumble. In the air, George is 6 of 11 for 193 yards and a touchdown. Chad Reed has 2 catches for 95 yards, including a 75-yard touchdown. Cavassier Shell has a 56-yard catch. Jaden Borders has 2 catches for 22 yards, and Devin Gillette has 1 catch for 20. So Shelby with 193 in the air, 44 on the ground for 237 total. So they got about a 100-yard edge in total yards tonight and an 8-point lead on the scoreboard. So far, Coach, it looked like Shelby may, about midway through that second quarter, kind of take over the game, but RS hit that long TD pass, and now it's a little tighter than everyone expected, I think, when we were about midway through that second quarter.
Well, Central runs what they run because it forces the defense to be ready for about 3 things. They run the wing T type plays, and it forces the cornerbacks the corners and the safeties to get up and do a lot of alley filling and run support. They run the triple option because it puts the defense in a one-on-one situation over and over and over and again. If somebody doesn't do their job and it's read right, you get big plays. And then they come out of the shotgun because then that forces you to back into your schemes, your man schemes, your zone schemes, and things like that. And the other neat thing about running the wing T type plays is there are about 4 bootlegs off those runs, and the big play for the touchdown was a bootleg off a fake run, and they executed it perfectly, and it got a big play. And so there is some merit to what they're trying to do offensively, and it's really up to the defense to just be on top of everything. Now, I got to tell you, it's tough to play on Monday. I mean, it really is. And, of course, Central's playing on Monday as well. But I think that explains why it's not been, a thing of beauty as far as, there's been, good plays and then bad plays, and it looks like some people are like saying, gosh, where's their head and things like that. Well, the entire Golden Lion football team was at a funeral early this afternoon for a family member of one of the Golden Lion football players, and so and it's a Monday, on top of all that other all the other things. So you go to school, and then and so everything's kind of strange to begin with. Then you throw the personal personal difficulties, having to deal with a funeral and things like that. And, I didn't come in here expecting tonight that it was just going to be a thing of beauty because of those 2 things. But, that's just part of it. And Central goes to school, and then they have a relatively long road trip to have to, come down here. And so, when you're coaching, you try to make every week as close to, normal as the week was before. And that's why you have a pregame meal, and that's why you have meetings at certain times, and that's why you try to do things. But when you're in a situation like both these teams are in tonight, I mean, just throw it out, and everything's just weird. And when we get to next Friday, we'll talk again about how strange it is when you played a football game on Monday night and you were sore and you can't do your regular preparation for the next week, but, that'll give us something to talk about in pregame when we go to Chase on Friday.
Well, it's definitely been anything but crisp, as you said. You noted 8 penalties on the Golden Lions. Of course, there's been a couple of snaps that were hard to handle, so that made some plays a little more difficult to get going. And we've had some good defensive plays tonight both ways. So it was really a hard-fought defense of the first half, 14-6. And, we missed out on our Aura Supermarket players to watch, both on Friday night's broadcast and tonight. So maybe we'll take a 2-minute break and we'll come back and we'll give our Aura Supermarkets players to watch for the second half. And we'll also talk about the keys to Shelby jumping out to a good start in the second half. We'll do that after a 2-minute break here on the Dr. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Dr. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
Since 1919, yes, 1919, Griffin Drug Store in downtown Kings Mountain has been serving the people of the Kings Mountain area with the finest in prescription service. And be sure to come in and ask about the 10% senior citizen discount. And most prescription cards are honored at Griffin Drug Center, 129 West Mountain Street in downtown Kings Mountain. Since 1919. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 on Saturday. That's Griffin Drug Center in Kings Mountain. Remember, it wasn't raining when Noah started building the ark. For all of your waterproofing needs, stay high and dry with a call to H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing. H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing does all types of waterproofing, from basements to crawl spaces, from commercial to residential. Call 704-482-2847, 704-482-2847 for H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing, East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
A child's life is so precious, yet all around us, children's lives are being destroyed by drugs. Take an active role in your child's life. Teach them that a healthy, drug-free lifestyle is their best choice. A word from Hooker Bonding of Shelby, our area's quality professionals, a name you can trust and depend on. Hooker Bonding is working today for a brighter tomorrow for our children.
Back to our halftime show here. Black Memorial Stadium, Shelby Golden Lions on top of RS Central, 14-6 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. And Coach, and it's my fault. I got the sponsor sheet right here, and we forgot to do the Aura Supermarket player to watch. So we decided we'll do it to start the second half, and we discussed it a little bit, but we never came to a conclusion. So I'll
go
let
ahead
you
and do
it.
offense,
Okay.
and I'll do defense.
I'll do offense. So I'm just gonna say R.J. George. He racked up some pretty good yards in the air, but we saw that he missed some underneath throws that were there. But on that last drive, he hit a couple. So I'm hoping that he's realizing he can hit the Jaden Borderses and the Chad Reeds and the Devin Gallettes on that crossing route, and then those guys can make the big play afterwards. And maybe he'll take off and run it a couple times too. So I think we're going to have a big second half out of RJ.
All right, my defensive player to watch is actually two players, the defensive ends for Shelby, both Clay Husky and Siobhan Miller. We've called Siobhan's name out several times, but the defensive ends are really crucial tonight because a few times the quarterback has gotten loose around the end, and on the touchdown pass, he was able to make that pass because he got loose. On a couple other plays, he could have run for pretty good yardage because what we call in the coaching business, he broke contain. and contain is tremendously important when you're running bootleg passes. And then, doubly, another really important thing with the defensive ends is if they're going to continue to run some type of option, the defensive ends have to do a great job of getting down on that fullback, and if they're running the fullback off tackle, again, same thing. The defensive ends have to do a great job. So those would be the defensive players, whoever happens to be playing defensive end, whichever direction that Central's running.
Typically, that's Siobhan Miller and Clay Husky, and of course, our offensive player to watch is R.J. George, quarterback for Shelby High. And tell you what, Steve Roberts, we got about 2 more minutes. We can take another break, get some more sponsors in here, and then we'll wrap it up when we get back. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with second half action.
The Round Man, Okie Knipe, invites you into Okie's Tire and Service Center for all your tire and auto service needs. Okie gives you the best value in tires, both new and used tires, and they'll mount and balance your tires free. Come into Okie's Service Center for all your service needs, including radiator flush, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, and state inspections. Serving Cleveland County since 1978. That's right, over 35 years. Okie's Tire and Service Center, 800 West Warren Street in Shelby.
Enloe Mortuary is in its 90th year providing sympathetic, efficient services to the families of the Shelby area. Enloe's is committed to these families to make sure their arrangements are handled in the most professional, caring way. The folks at Enloe's believe the quality of their service, personal touch, and the little things they do add up to the family's satisfaction. Enloe's staff is available anytime to assist you in any way they can. Enloe Mortuary, 231 North Lafayette Street, in Shelby.
It's the 90th annual Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Make plans now to be there. On the Midway, it's pig racing, Leon Jacobs, Act Monsters chainsaw demonstration, the Tumbleweed Crossing Wild West show, and on the grandstand, it's the Demolition Derby and much more. So join us for the fun, the 90th annual Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. The Cleveland County Fair at the Cleveland County Fairgrounds.
Opening kickoff, Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff by Shelby. Richard Wright all the way down to the 1-yard line, return just across the 15. So, again, excellent coverage by that Shelby special teams unit.
Yeah, I felt that the official could have gone ahead and called that dead because the receiver went into the end zone to get it, but it actually turned out to be good for us because he had to run it from just inside his end zone and only got to the 16-yard line. So 1st and 10 for RS on their 16-yard line. It really would be nice to have a 3-and-out or a turnover by our defense right now.
It's always a big first series. Last week, Shelby came up with a turnover on the first play. And here it's actually running it to the 20, a gain of 4. So no turnover and a decent gain for RS.
Well, that was an interesting play call. That's about the first time that I've noticed them run the buck trap. And they caught us in a nice little stunt. G9 was trying to cross the face of the center and go into the and actually he stunted right out of the play and made it a little bit easier for the play to work. And so that's just a good call by the Central offensive coordinator, Mike Cheek.
Spot not too good. It looks more like a 2nd and 7, and it's a toss sweep to McIntyre. He's trying to find his way, a couple of his own blockers in front of him, but he actually just kind of stayed behind him and got all the way up to the 26-yard line. He's close to first down.
Yeah, that was a good run. The quick pitch, again, it's been a really good play against us so far, and I thought we might have had it kind of snuffed out there, but he made a good run to get around the first man, and so it's 3rd and very short. See if they go on 2.
Well, it's Tate calling his own number. I'm surprised Shelby wasn't looking for that because 3 times they've had 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and every time it's been Tate on the keeper, and that time it was him again, and he gets 2, and that's enough for the first down.
So 1st and 10 RS. The ball's on the 27-yard line. Early in the third quarter now. 11 minutes. Clock is ticking. Central with their first down in the second half. Their 8th first down of the game.
Tate under center. He's got Whitesides in motion, and it's a quick pitch to him. And Whitesides looks like he wants to throw it, and he's going to chunk it up, and he overshoots McIntyre as he's hit by Dax Hollifield and Siobhan Miller.
That was defensed quite well by the Golden Lions that time because great pressure being put on the quick pitch part of the play, and none of the secondary people came forward to make that an easy pass. Now, there was a little opening for him to get it into, but again, those gadget plays, the quick pitch pass, I thought the Golden Lions covered that pretty well.
I almost thought Whitesides was going to that was the play call when they pitched it to the left a minute ago. He looked like he was wanting to throw it at first, and then he ran it. And they did the same play to the other side, and he did throw it. So, interesting call there. 2nd and 10 on the incompletion. The ball's on the ground, and Ashley falls on it. And was that a Wildcat?
Well, it was a strange. It almost looked like the snap was just a really bad snap. I don't know. I was looking at the linebackers, stepping up to stunt, and we had good penetration by the linebackers, and then the ball was laying on the ground. So I don't know, Brent. Maybe they were in the Wildcat, but I thought it was just a really bad snap.
Actually falls on it, and it's no gain. So now it's 3rd and 10, and Shelby kind of got RS right where they want it, and 3rd and long, and Tate's back to throw, and he's chunking it deep, and he's got Ashley open, but it's defensed well by Demario Houston. A little bit underthrown by Tate, and I think actually if he would have thrown it on the money, Demario may have picked that one off.
Yeah. I was starting to kind of question. Yeah, I don't know that Ashley was exactly open. It was pretty good coverage, and it was an equally good pass. I mean, there was a chance for that thing to be completed, but I thought the Golden Lions put pretty good pressure on in that time and had the pass defensed. And if Ashley had caught that, that would just have been, pat him on the back. I mean, that would have been a heck of a play.
Punt unit on at 4th and 10, and Shelby brings the heat, and they get it. Clay Husky blocks it. Ashley kicks it out of the end zone for a safety, and that's a flag on it, too, because he kicked it all the way out of the back of the end zone.
Now, this is one of those really interesting plays. In college, if you kick it out of the back of the end zone from the field of play, it's an unusual penalty because I saw that happen when Florida State and North Carolina played each other a few years back. Generally what happens is the ball's in the end zone and you kick it out of the back of the end zone, and it's an illegal kicking. It's just the safety, and you go ahead and kick it off. But from that spot, the Golden Lions may get the ball first down at the 1-yard line where that ball was touched, because in college, I know that's the play. I know that's the penalty because it's such an unusual thing, and my Tar Heels were guilty of it, kicking it out of the back of the end zone from the 3-yard line. Florida State ended up with it on the Carolina 3. So it's going to be really interesting, and the officials coming over to talk to Coach Ware to give him his options on this.
Well, it was Clay Husky, one of those defensive ends you talked about. He didn't make the play from the defensive end spot, but he made a heck of a special teams play there on the block, and that was a one-hand, left hand up in the air on the Ashley punt. But you're right, Ashley went back and kicked it from the 1.5-yard line all the way through the back of the end zone, and immediately the official pulled the flag out. There was no safety signaled either, so they're explaining something to Coach Ware, and they're over there talking to Coach Cheek.
And Shelby's got their offense in the huddle right now. I mean, again, if it's the same rule, but there's so many different rules. If it's the same rule as college, Shelby's going to have the ball on the 1-yard line, first and goal.
Yeah, because that's where they're putting the ball. Wow. So after that big block punt, Shelby's going to have first and goal on the RS 1-yard line, leading 14-6, 9:32 to play third quarter. Big Buck Ustry's in there, I wouldn't be surprised to see 24 get the call here.
No, I don't think that would be a bad call.
He's got 1 touchdown in this game, but on Friday night. And
now the officials again are still, conferring among themselves. But I actually think that I was right on that one, Brent. That's going to be 1st and goal for Shelby. Illegal touching on Central, 1st and goal. Yeah, so that's what it is, and I just that you never see that play, and I just remember about 4 or 5 years ago, North Carolina did that very same thing against Florida State.
So how do you mark that penalty? A penalty for no yards?
Yeah.
And Buck Ustry, touchdown from 1 yard out. And you hear the crowd cheering as the Golden Lions go on top 20-6 with 9:28 to go. Senior Buck Ustry runs that one in, and Richard Wright on for the extra point. And, RS did miss an extra point earlier. It got blocked by Aaron Jolly, so this could put Shelby up by 15, make it a little more difficult for RS to come back. George in to hold. Snaps perfect. Kicks up. Kick is good, and Shelby leads 21-6 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. Let's take a 30-second break and be back for yet another Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Keep warm this winter and save money too with the new Echo SunTech infrared heater from Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. It's a 3-in-1 product, an infrared heater, a humidifier, and an air purifier with a 5-year factory warranty on the PTC heat element. The Echo SunTech infrared heater allows you to heat by zones instead of an entire area. Zone heating allows you to keep unoccupied areas cooler than normal, thereby reducing your heating bill. See one today at Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Arrowwood Street in Shelby.
Shelby High School, Ed Green Construction, take it to the house touchdown run by Buck Ustry from 1 yard out has put the Golden Lions up 21-6. And a little bit of breathing room, Coach, after just a wild play where on a 4th down and 10, Clay Husky comes up the middle, gets a block punt. The ball's going towards the end zone. Punter turns around and kicks the ball out of the back of the end zone from the 2-yard line. Rule is, if you kick it from the field of play out of the back of the end zone, other team gets the ball on your 1 yard line, 1st and goal. Shelby takes over. One play, Buck Ustry goes in for the TD. Richard Wright's kickoff again. Well, this one is actually bounces at the 1 and goes into the end zone. RS decided we can't get the ball past the 15-yard line. We'll just take it at the 20.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened that time. Shelby has done such a good job on their kickoff coverage. I mean, the last 2 times, Central's been unable to get it back to the 20. And so that's exactly what happened. The Central deep man, I think it was actually, he just moved out of the way and let that thing bounce in the end zone. Now, if you're really having a bad day, what happens is that ball hits and bounces back towards you. And, but Ashley's not having that bad of a day. So 1st and 10 at the 20 for Central with 9:28 left in the 3rd quarter.
And Shelby stacking the left side of the line, and it works as Ashley is gobbled up by a slew of Golden Lions on 1st down. He gets a 1.5 yards, and on the bottom of the pile is Justin Turner. Good to see his name called out. Kind of the quiet assassin for that Golden Lion defense.
Absolutely. I mean, Justin, you look at the stats, and he's got lots of tackles and lots of assists, and he just does his job, and he's right in the middle where he's supposed to be, and we don't call his name enough because we can't see him because he's at the bottom of a big pile of black shirts.
2nd and 8, McIntyre in motion, and Tate's going to call his own number, and he's got good yardage. Great blocking downfield by his receivers, and he gets a 1st down and out of bounds up near the 40, and wow, that he got a couple of blocks downfield that were just fantastic by his receivers.
Well, and I want to tell you, that's the best. I sound like a crazy man, I know, but that's the best job the defensive end's done at contain because he got up the field and forced the quarterback back inside. The trouble was there was nobody inside. And so, I talked, at halftime about how important it is for the defensive ends to do a good job of containing because they hadn't. Well, he did that time, but the linebackers weren't home.
16-yard pickup for Tate and a first down for the Hilltoppers as they near the 40-yard line. And this time it's Whiteside's in motion, and Tate calls his own number, and Clay Husky gets him in the backfield for a loss.
And again, since early in the second quarter, when I tried to explain, the difficulty of the fan play, the Golden Lions have done 3 straight times now. They have defensed the fan play perfectly, and they've done it 3 different ways. Once by just a great job by the middle linebacker, and then the second time by a great job by an outside linebacker, and then the last time Clay Husky coming from the backside. And so that's pretty good. So second down and 13.
And this time Tate's in the shotgun. He gets a quick pass off, complete to Whitesides, but what a great tackle by the linebacker. Was that Turner again?
That's Justin Turner again.
And Turner's still down. Yeah, so Whitesides made a tackle on the open field, and that's where you see a running back matched on a linebacker. You got the advantage, but Turner dropped him immediately. He only got the couple back and a couple more. It's going to be a 3rd and 8.
And that was a quick pass, and it had to be a quick pass because there was tremendous pressure brought by the defensive ends, and so he had to get rid of it. I just keep hoping that he's got the breath knocked out of him, but I don't know. We might need to go to timeout.
Yeah, Turner's down. We'll hope he's okay. Let's take a 30-second injury timeout break, and we'll be back right after this.
Good credit, bad credit, no credit? Apply today and ride today at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Pick up this week's What's Up Shopper for some great deals with 0 money down and rates as low as 2.99%. See the new Polaris Ranger 500 Crew for as low as $10,000. The brand new Yamaha Grizzly 125 is only $35.99. And for the lake, get the 2014 Yamaha Superjet for only $71.50. Full Throttle Power Sports. Exit 22 off I-85 in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Hard to tell how long this one might be, Steve. Let's give us about another minute break, and we'll try to sort this one out. 1 more minute, and we'll be back.
It's America's Mattress Sale at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Save now on the 2013 Inventory Reduction Sale. All 2013 mattress sets must go. Get free delivery, free setup, free haul away. Get the sleep you need, guaranteed. Save on the Serta Perfect Sleeper for only $299 for queen size. Get special 12-month financing, and Big Pillows just $39. America's Mattress from Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. The easiest way home is with Homestar Financial Corporation in Shelby. Bob Webb invites you to come in and talk with one of their financial specialists about your new home, from conventional loans to FHA to VA and to USDA. And all loan programs are available to qualified buyers. Homestar Financial manages the entire mortgage process with outstanding customer service that produces a high level of customer satisfaction. Find out more today. Visit Homestar Financial Corporation, 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, or call 704-482-2588.
Great timing, Steve Roberts. We're just back to action. It's 3rd and 7 from the RS 41-yard line. Shelby's edger player was able to walk off the field on his own power, but a little bit woozy, Coach, I'm afraid. And
well, Justin Turner made the tackle, and it looked like he just got his bell rung. I mean, he laid down on the field, and the whole time I was thinking, I think he's been knocked out. And they ministered to him for just for about 30 seconds, and then he moved and he set up, and it's always scary when you got a young man, laying on the field like that. But he got knocked out. They walked him. He got up. They walked him over to the central bench because it was over on the central sideline. And now they've brought the cart over to that side, and they're going to take him. They're going to take him, off the, out of the premises, and probably going to have him be checked out by a doctor.
3rd and 7, Tate back. He's got pressure, and again a breakdown in the coverage. He's found Adele wide open, and Adele's going to go all the way for a touchdown. This one's going to cover 59 yards, and again Shelby loses one of the receivers, and he was nowhere in sight. Catch and run, touchdown, RS, and again they take a 2-score situation down to potentially 1 score pending this point after touchdown.
And I believe they'll be going for 2 because they are down 21-12, and they've gone for 2 a lot this year, having some difficulties with their kicking.
So Shelby brought the blitz. Tate rolled away from it, and then I don't know if the safety kind of bit, thinking Tate may take off and run, and he stopped and threw it over the head. Adele caught it kind of in a pocket and then made one move back to the middle of the field. And on a 2-point conversion, Tate rolls out, and he's got heavy pressure, and it's knocked away by Demario Houston. No good. So Shelby maintains a 9-point lead, which is all that important because that's 2 scores. And 7:38 to go. Shelby leads 21-12. We'll keep it right here. And, Coach, again, RS comes up with a big play.
Well, Tate is pretty elusive, and he's doing a really nice job. And, again, just like the last time, there was contain that time. I can tell that was one of the major things that the coaches talked about at halftime was we got to contain him. But, unfortunately, the contain's been there, but there's been nothing inside it. And he's done a good job of making decisions here the last 3 times that Central's had the football, and that's just been sometimes people make good offensive plays, and Central's done it. Again, Shelby does have a 9-point lead, and one of the things that we missed, we came back. Central took a timeout before that touchdown pass, and so they have 2 timeouts left in the game. But there's plenty of time, 7 minutes and 38 seconds left. Golden Lions waiting for the kickoff.
Well, that's number 28 set to kick off, and that is Trevon Carson. And let's see what he does. Last one was short. This one is short again. It's going to be taken by Buck Usry at about the 24. He cuts back to the middle of the field and eludes 1 tackle. Now he cuts it up, and he's across the 30. Out to about the 32-yard line, maybe the 33, and Shelby will take over there, leading 21-12. 7:29 still to go, 3rd quarter. A long way to go in this one, and it's been a game of back and forth, a little bit like last week where Shelby would come up with a big score, but then they would be answered by the opponent, and RS has answered Shelby 2 times in a row now. Let's see if the Golden Lions can go one up on them again. And they mark it at the 33, 1st and 10, Shelby. George in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Chad Reed, and Chad's got nowhere to go. He's got 4 white shirts, and he's going to be tackled for a loss of 4, maybe 5, all the way back at the 28-yard line.
Well, the Golden Lions run the inside zone and the outside zone, and the last 2 times that they've tried to run the outside zone, it has not worked, and that puts Golden Lions in a little bit of a hole, 2nd down and probably 14 now. In the same formation with 2 backs, George taking the snap and fakes it and rolls back to the right. Plenty of time.
He's looking way downfield, and they lost it up for the short guy, which was Buck Usry, and almost picked off.
Was that Ashley?
It was Ashley again.
I tell you what, Ashley is a good football player. Again, RJ could have run it. Now, it was not a situation where he could have run it for 15 or 20 yards. He could have run it and picked up about 6 or 7. Instead, he tried to make the pass, and it was a pretty dangerous pass. And Ashley is just doing a really good job at that free safety position. So now 3rd down and long for the Golden Lions. Don't want to turn it over right now.
3rd and 14, maybe 15. George rolls right. He's got pressure. He lost it up. He's got a man open, but he overshoots Jaden Borders. Had Cavassier shell deeper, but no way he on the run could have gotten enough on it to get it to Cavassier. And just like that, Shelby's going 3 and out.
Shelby held it for about 50 seconds that time.
So that's 4 straight incompletions by RJ. He started off 4 for 4, then missed his next 3, hit his next 2, and now he's missed 4 in a row. And back to punt is Richard Wright. Desmond Whiteside's deep for RS, and Shelby late getting Siobhan Miller out of the field.
That's probably a situation where an injury meant we had to put a second teamer in there.
High snap, and RS brings some pressure. Wright gets off a heck of a punt under duress. It takes a sideways bounce and will be down inside the 35-yard line by Demario Houston. Actually, we got a heck of a spot. I think it went out on the 32, and the official was so far up the field, he marks it at the 30.
They're going to actually get it right, though, because they threw the beanbag down, so it's going to be at the 32.
So RS back in business. They trail the Golden Lions by 9, and they do mark it at the 33. So maybe they got a yard to the good when it was all said and done.
That was still a 39-yard punt under a great deal of pressure. Richard did a great job getting that off. I thought it was going to be blocked. So right now, this is a big, big time of the game for the Golden Lion defense. 1st and 10, RS trailing 21-12, 6:26 left, ball on their own 33-yard line. So they're in the shotgun.
They are in the shotgun. You got McIntyre beside Tate, and Tate calls his own number on the draw, but it's both defensive ends and Gary and Addison on the tackle. So
Well, I'll tell you what, they've run, it's pretty much quarterback isolation, and he's down. I think, he's shaking his left hand. He fell on that hand, and they've run that play a good bit, but I tell you what, just from my opinion, they're better off having him roll out or run the option than that isolation play, because Shelby's just all over that isolation play.
Darquez Lee in at middle linebacker for the injured Justin Turner. And Shelby creeping the linebackers up, and they blitz. And Tate does a great job of getting the play off, and a missed tackle in the Shelby secondary allows number 1 Spencer Norris to get first down after the catch.
Again, I've been really impressed with Tyrese Tate. He's made good decisions most of the night, and that really quick passing game, it doesn't matter. Shelby can blitz everybody in the house, and they're not going to get there if they're running that quick passing game. So they're really doing a good job of taking advantage of that blitz.
1st and 10, all the way up to the 46 now. And Tate back to pass. This time he's got all kinds of time. He gets the pass off complete to Adele, and a missed tackle by Shelby, and Adele's in the secondary. He's going to score. He's at the 20, 15-10. Touchdown. And again, the big play dooms the Golden Lions. This one for 54 yards, and they've now scored on pass plays of 58, 59, and 54 yards. And
both times missed tackles have led to the touchdown. So Central will now go for 2 again because it's 21-18. Of course, I guess if you have a kicker, you go ahead and kick this and get within 2, but kicking has been quite an experience for Central all year. So they're going to go for 2 to try to make it 21-20. And the big Mo is on the other side right now.
There's no doubt about it. Shelby's defense looking a little bit tired, and no wonder. Offense with a 3-and-out. And on the second 2-point attempt, I think it's an incredible catch made in the corner by Matt Atchley as he goes up and over Demario Houston, one of the best corners in the state. And it's now 21-20 Shelby. And watch out, 5:09 to go, third quarter. Let's take 30 seconds and be back for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Honda's line of 4-Trax Rancher all-terrain vehicles are America's favorite ATVs because they're always improving. That's especially true with the all-new 2014 Ranchers, like the new double cradle steel chassis and aggressively styled bodywork that's just as tough as it is good-looking. So head on down to Honda of Shelby, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, and see the entire 2014 Honda Rancher line. You'll see why these midsize ATVs are truly the best on earth. Honda of Shelby, Highway 74 East.
Minute. You've missed a nice little comeback by RS Central. Shelby led 21-6, and now RS has put back-to-back touchdowns on the board with a couple of long touchdown passes by Tyrese Tate, and then the kickoff goes out of bounds. Shelby will take over at the 35, but only ahead 21-20, as this one's gotten a lot tighter here at Black Memorial Stadium. 5:09 to go, third quarter, Coach, and you know, the game that seemed a couple of times well in Shelby's well in hand has become a little bit of a nerve-wracking right now. And this is a big game, as we talked about on Friday's pregame show. This is a two-way, not only a conference matchup, this is a two-way conference matchup, all so important.
Offense needs to really answer the bell right now.
And they come out. And it's Chad Reed, and he bounces it to the outside. Nothing there, but he's making something of it. He's across the 40. So Chad Reed making all that on his own. He gets about 6. Heck of a run.
Well, actually, I think he ends up with 5, because what happens is that ball went out of bounds at the 36. And so the penalty, you either get it at the 35 or at the spot it went out of bounds. And so that the spot was the 36. And we've got an injured Central player on the field, and so we may have time for another timeout, Brent.
Yeah, let's take a 1-minute break and come back from this injury.
Medical Arts Pharmacy is your locally owned independent hometown pharmacy. Unlike the big chain stores, Medical Arts Pharmacy calls you by name and treats you like family and friends, not a number. Medical Arts has more National Board certified technicians and personnel than other pharmacies to keep down your waiting time on prescriptions. Online refills at medicalartsofshelby.com. Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street near the hospital in Shelby. Call 704-487-8068.
Service. That's hard to find when it comes to lawn and garden equipment. Not anymore. Head to Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Parker Farm Service services all major brands, makes, and models. Call Mary McHenry to set up your appointment at 704-259-6130. And Parker Farm Service welcomes Kenny Barbie to their service department. 24-hour turnaround with in-house parts, plus delivery and pickup is available. Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive at the Highway 74 Bypass, Oak Grove Road intersection in Kings Mountain.
Off the injury, our RS elected to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here, though, because timeout's just about over. So Shelby facing a 2nd and 5 after the Chad Reed 5-yard run. And, Coach, not only does Shelby need to put something together here offensively, they need to run a little. They need to keep their defense off the field for at least a little bit. Defense has been out there quite a bit tonight. RS had a long 15, 16-play drive earlier. A couple of long drives in this half already, resulting in long touchdown passes. So let's see if Shelby's offense can get on track. 2nd and 5 from the 41. George in the shotgun. He's got Usry to his right and Reed behind him, and the handoff is Reed, and he's going to maybe lose a yard as he's gang tackled by RS. And RS is fired up here as the mo has changed, and Shelby's not opening the holes they were earlier for Chad.
Absolutely, and this is a huge play. I think we got a nice spot that time. I didn't think he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and a long 5, a short 6, and Shelby needs to make a play here, and I'm glad that we're not in that I formation again.
George back to pass. He's got time, but again, he's struggling to find an open guy. This time he's going to tuck it and run, and he may be close. And unfortunately, there's a couple of hits on the sideline, but no flags thrown.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were fortunate that we didn't get a couple of flags thrown, and they're going to say RJ went out of bounds.
And
wow,
there's a hurt player.
I thought RJ got knocked out of bounds about the 49-yard line, and they're going to put the spot closer to the 46, and it may be 4th down. It's really close right now.
They're going to measure. They're calling for the sticks, so George gets knocked out of bounds, and then a Shelby player looked like they came and hit the guy that knocked RJ out of bounds. But they're saying he may have been blocked into him. But either way, there was a lot of contact after the play.
And Central player is down. It was hard for us to see because it's right in front of the Golden Lion bench. And so we've got the ball there. They're going to have to try to – and Central player's back up now. That's number 64.
Kanan Brock.
Who's done a really nice job on the defensive line tonight. And I'll tell you what, I just can't see where the football is, but it looks like it's going to be just a little bit short.
Yeah, it does look a bit shy of the first down to me as well.
Again, you know, the players are between us and the sideline. We can't really see the sideline, but I thought RJ had plenty of yardage for the first down, but it's going to be short.
It's going to be fourth and
about. It looks like about a chain link.
So, do you trust you're going to get a half a yard? You don't make it. You give RS the ball in your field, half of the field with the momentum.
Well, you know, I don't coach anymore, and decisions like this make this press box a lot more comfortable, Brent Pasco.
Well, I see R.J. George out there in company, so it looks like Shelby is going to go for it. They're back in that kind of eye look where Usry is to the right of George and Reed is behind him a couple of yards.
Brent Pasco, this is a big play. This is a huge play right here.
It is. RS showing a 5-man front. And handoff, and it's going to be a first down for Buck Usry. He's not going to get much, but he's going to get a yard and a half.
Well, he didn't need much, and that's the nice thing about it. And tell you what, this game has gotten really interesting all of a sudden. That's just the second first down that the Golden Lions have had this second half. Still 3:52 left. First down, Shelby.
Shelby quickly up to the line, and it's a handoff to Usry again, and again hit for just a couple. Let's give him about two. Second down and 8. So RS doing a lot better job against the run here in the second half and against the pass. Shelby can't seem to really get much going. What surprised me tonight is it looks like George has had all kinds of time to throw, but can't seem to get rid of the ball. Second and 8, and it's Usry again running into a bunch of white shirts. He's not going to get anything, maybe a football length.
I'll tell you what, that time he ran into a bunch of black shirts that were being shoved back by the white shirts. And tell you what, that's an impressive play by the RS defensive front. Third down and, gosh, 7 anyway. Maybe a little more than 7.
Official timeout. Looks like there's a helmet problem by Avery Mooney, Shelby right guard. And this is a big play. Third down 7 from just on the RS Central side of midfield. 2:53 to go, third quarter. Shelby with a 1-point lead over RS Central. And Shelby just doesn't look in sync right now at all. Having trouble getting the running game in.
Still having trouble getting Mooney's helmet snapped. At this point, generally, the official says, okay, y'all have had enough time. Go over to the sideline and bring another guy in. But they did let him get it set. So Shelby's ready to snap the ball.
Snap handle. Blitz coming. And RJ has to get rid of it more quickly than he'd like. It goes over the head of Jaden Borders, incomplete. And Shelby going to have to bring the punt unit on. And I tell you, the Mo has switched, and it hasn't switched back to Shelby. That's the 5th straight incomplete pass from R.J. George. And that time, I can't fault R.J. He had to get rid of it in a hurry.
Yep, he had to get rid of that.
right back. It's a good snap, and RS again brings some pressure, and there is a little bit of contact.
Richard got one that time. He did the perfect acting job. He did get touched. Now, I would be shocked if this is not the 5-yard variety.
But the 5-yarder makes it a 4th and 2. Do you go for it? And the punt was down inside the 15-yard line. So another excellent punt by Wright.
Still going to be 4th down. So now the question is, it looks like we're going to go for it. It's going to be fourth and about 1.5. Nope, they're going to run Richard back out again.
Well, I would just take it. I mean, you got him down inside the 15-yard line. Now you're bringing in a whole bunch of bad things here. You could snap it over his head. You could get a block. They could hit it off the side of his foot. You could get a punt return. I don't know what.
You could also run a fake punt.
You could do that too. But they again punt it. He gets off a beauty, but they're going to lose 5 yards of field position because he kicks it in the end zone. So not real sure about that one, but nonetheless, RS takes over at their 20-yard line with the momentum, but a lot of time left, 2:18 left, in what seems to be the longest quarter I've ever been a part of.
And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the fact that things are not going the way we want it to go.
No doubt about it. RS takes over. They trail Shelby 21-20. 1st and 10, and Tate under center. He's had a fantastic second half. Hand off to McIntyre on the left side, and he's got run room. He's into the Shelby secondary, a gain of 8.
And that's the buck sweep. We hadn't seen him do that all night, and I was waiting for that to come. They've run the bootleg off of that, but they hadn't run the sweep, and that sweep, that 8 yards that they picked up was about the worst they could have done. There wasn't a whole lot over there, and Shelby's going to have a gut check right now.
And now the rain begins to fall pretty heavily. 2nd down and 2, and hand off to Atchley, and he's got a 1st down as he picks up about 5. And you're right, gut check time for that Shelby. They're without Justin Turner at middle linebacker, who went out with an injury. And RS is on the move once again. They're at the 33-yard line. 1st down, fresh set of downs after that 5-yard pickup by Atchley. They've got a new fullback in the game. And handoff is to McIntyre again around the left side, and he's picking his way for 3 or 4, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, a good 4-yard gain. Again, the buck sweep back away from us, back into the short side of the field. And they've run that 2 times and had pretty good yardage both times. And they're really setting up the bootleg off of that, running back into the to the right side, which is the way the quarterback would like to run to make the pass. And he sure has done a good job passing tonight. 53 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's the buck sweep back into the wide side of the field, and a really good cut by number 23, Desmond Whitesides, but really good defensive job that time by the Golden Lions.
Yeah, Gary and Addison actually came from behind and grabbed him and kind of laid back and tried to pull him backwards. And the gain is up to the 39, so it's a pickup of another 2 yards. So now it's 3rd and 5.
I'll tell you what, that's about 3rd and 4. Another huge play. We're at 15 seconds, clock ticking. Central will not have to snap this if they don't want to, and it doesn't look like they want to.
I don't know why. This seems to be their lucky direction tonight, but they will let the clock run down. We'll go to the 4th quarter with Shelby leading 21-20. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this 30-second break.
Cooking out? Then head to the Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams in Shelby. This week, T-bone steaks just $5.99 a pound. Boston butts $1.59 a pound by the case. For those football games, whole jumbo wings $1.99 a pound. Restaurant-style wings $2.19 a pound. And jumbo legs 8 to 9 cents a pound. Orr's Supermarket and Broad River Hams has North Carolina just picked apples and peaches along with some pumpkins too. And mountain cabbage is 39 cents a pound at the Orr's Supermarket and Broad River Hams, 1026 East Marion Street, Shelby.
Shelby takes a 21-20 lead into the fourth quarter here at Blount Memorial Stadium, Pearlie Allen Field. And RS Central, though, has come from 21-6 down to come within 1 point of Shelby, and they've got the ball with a big 3rd down and 4 play here from their own 39-yard line. And you said it, they're setting up the bootleg, and Tate this half has hit his last 4 passes for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. And his last pass of the first half was a 58-yard touchdown. So he has been on fire on his last 6 throws. And he's back. And he stumbles on the wet turf, but he takes off, and he's got running room. It's a foot race to the sideline, and Damian Keith chases him out of bounds shy of the first down.
Yeah, he didn't try to pick up the first down. He tried to get out of bounds, which is one of the few questionable decisions that he's made tonight. So it's going to be 4th and 2, and looks like Central's going to trot the punt team in. This is the turf's going to become an interesting part of this game because it is now pouring down rain. I looked down and I looked back up and I said, gosh, it's almost like a fog. The rain's coming down so hard. And so ball's slick now. It makes all kinds of brings all kinds of things into play now.
Well, Shelby has blocked a punt already tonight. And here comes Siobhan Miller. He can't quite get there. And now Ashley tries to sell the running into the kicker. He falls down, but White Hat was having no part of that. And that punt rolls dead at the Shelby 23-yard line.
So it's another 35-yard punt. Every punt's been 35 yards by Central, but it's a very effective punt. Shelby was playing full out looking for a fake, and there was nobody back to receive that ball. So Shelby has the ball 1st and 10 on their 23-yard line. And offensively, we've done pretty much nothing this entire second half, so it's time to do it right now. 11:40 left in the game.
Shelby coming out with that formation where they've got double wideouts right and left with them stacked on top of each other. And it's a handoff to Chad Reed, and Chad fighting to get in the secondary, and he's still on his feet. He picks up about 8, and some hard-nosed running there by Chad.
Well, one of the things, from a coaching perspective, when we put 2 guys out left, 2 guys out right, they got to put 4 guys out there too. And it's a little bit easier to run against those 6 men inside than what we were trying to run into. So that's pretty good coaching right there.
2nd and 1, and Reed gets 2, and a Pegram Insurance first down, Golden Lions. That time, Central creeped the right inside linebacker up, and he actually got in Chad's way. Chad may have been able to break that one for a little bit more, but he got just enough for the first down. And now RS a little bit into the neutral zone, but gets back.
And we hadn't got to say Pegram Insurance first down very much this second half, so that's nice.
Play clock under 8, and it's ball's on the ground, and RJ falls on it. Tried to pull it out of Buck Ussery's gut, and with that wet field, another sloppy play, and Shelby just a little out of sync tonight.
Yeah, I think we could probably leave the little part out of it. They're just out of sync tonight, and that's part of it. I mean, you have these games, and we've said it too many times. It's really gut check time because the Golden Lions are pretty much struggling right now. 2nd and 15.
Hand off to Ushery, and he breaks one open. He's across the 40, so he gets back about 13 of that 16 they needed for the first down.
Again, that's a good play. You get those guys spread out, and there's just not as many people to block on the interior lanes right there. Now is where we could run that outside zone.
6-man front for RS, and RJ keeps it, and he gets the first down, and I'm glad to see that. Sometimes I wonder if RJ couldn't do that just a couple more times a game to keep that defense honest.
Well, I like these play calls, and sports fans, it's not because we're running it. It's because we're running it out of really good formations to run it. I mean, we've tried to run it a few times tonight, and they've just had us outnumbered. And so I really like these play calls because we're using the formations to really give ourselves an advantage.
And RJ picked up 8 on that run. Pegram Insurance first down. And the Golden Lions approach midfield at the 49. And George calls his own number again, and he gets to midfield and maybe to the 49 of RS. And I tell you, RJ's a load to take down. That time he got a couple on his own.
Yes, he is. He's a load to take down. His father, Rodney George Sr., we called him Snap, and he was an offensive guard for me way back in 95 and 96. And RJ's not much smaller than his father was at that time. So RJ's a load. Second down and 8.
And it's a long 8, and it's a handoff to Chad Reed, and tough sledding there. As kind of a similar play to earlier where he kind of ran into his own guys because they got stood up by the defensive front.
Yeah, we were trying to run a trap that time, and the trap was pretty good. There just wasn't enough movement by the right side of the offensive line. We got the trap, but then when he tried to cut back inside, then he ran up into offensive linemen. So it's 3rd and 8, 8:24 left. This is another huge play.
George looks to the sideline. 15 on the play clock. 8:15 to go in the ball game. 2 receivers left and right. Reed in the backfield. RS creeping all kinds of guys up, and they bring it the whole house. RJ flushed out of the pocket to his right. He's going to tuck it. He puts his head down, and he's still on his feet. He hurdles a player. He's at the 25, 20, blocking downfield by Cavassier Shell. Cuts back to the 10, inside the 10 to the 7, maybe the 8. And that's a pickup of 40 yards by R.J. George, and leaves about 3 RS Central guys in the ground behind him.
And again, number 20, actually, who has just been a load tonight. He's down, and I'm not sure that this time it's a cramp because he's not grabbing at his ankle or anything. He's down on the ground. And he's moving. It's not like it's a terrible injury, but he's down on the ground, and they brought medical personnel out to attend to him. So might want a 30-second timeout, Brent?
Yeah, let's take a 30-second break. We'll come back and see what Shelby can do with this 1st and goal situation.
There's nothing like a Bobcat to cut grass, and there's no better deal than right now to own a new Bobcat from West End Sales in Vail. For only $101 a month, you can be mowing on your new Bobcat with 0% financing for 54 months. See the Bobcat Fast Cat R2 with a big 22-horsepower Kawasaki engine and a big 52-inch cut and a heavy-duty frame weighing 850 pounds, plus a 3-year, 300-hour warranty. Only $101 per month at West End Sales, Highway 2718 North Intersection, Vail.
To stop a 220-pound quarterback when he's got a head of steam.
He made a nifty move at about the 40-yard line and then was able to get 32 after that. Good downfield blocking by Cavassier Shell. Great stalk block.
1st and goal, and RJ calls his own number. He's inside the 5, still fighting. He's to the 4, so a pickup of 4. And now you see RJ starting to call his own number here a couple of times.
And maybe the most important thing, as long as Shelby takes care of this ball and punches it in, maybe the most important thing is that we have now had the ball for, and this is big for Shelby, we've had the ball over 4 minutes. And that's a long drive for the Golden Lions.
It is. I think this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plays all on the ground for the Golden Lions on this drive. This will be the 9th play coming up. And it's going to be another handoff, and Reed's inside the 5, but he can't get out of the grass. Matter of fact, he may have got just back to the line of scrimmage.
That was one of those one guy to beat, and he couldn't. And he's taking his helmet off, and we've got another Central player down about the 1-yard line.
And so the injuries just keep piling up. We'll take another 30-second injury timeout. Steve Roberts.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner. It's time to fill up your tank with home heated oil or kerosene from Energy Direct in Shelby. They promise to beat anybody's price. Check with Energy Direct in Shelby before you fill it up for winter. Just give them a call at 704-482-0351. Again, that's 704-482-0351. They will beat anybody's price on home heating oil and kerosene. Guaranteed. Energy Direct, 1629 South Lafayette Street, Shelby.
All right, back from an injury timeout. The injured player is Caleb Hines. He's a defensive lineman for the Hilltoppers, and he is going off on his own power. That's good to see. Shelby with a big play. 3rd and goal. Ball in on the 4, but it's really about a 4.5 to go because it's closer to the 5 than it is the 4. And big play. Got to get 6 here. At least 3. But I think Shelby's thinking 6. George in the shotgun, and it's Buck Ussery, and he's back to pass, and he's going to throw a quick slant. Ball knocked away.
Going to be interference.
Looks like maybe a defensive hold on Adele as Jaden Borders ran the slant and grabbed a little bit of his jersey. Kind of did that move you see. You grab a hold of the hip and kind of pull yourself around the front so you can knock the ball away.
Yep, and where this play is, when you got half the distance, I'm trying to figure out if this is an automatic first down, but it's not. It's still 3rd down. So there's no such thing as an automatic first down on a pass interference, and we're at that part of the field where I can't really tell where the ball is. It looks like maybe it's on the 2-yard line, Brent.
Yeah, it's just outside the 2. Caleb Jolly comes off, and Chad Reed and Buck Ussery into the game. Devin Gillette and Cavassier Shell wide right, or to the near side, and all by himself, Jaden Borders to the left, and they're going to throw a fade to Borders. He gets knocked down. Maybe he slipped. They said he slipped.
Yeah,
and
I think
the ball falls incomplete. And now it's decision time. 4th and goal from the 2. And George has missed on his last 6 attempts going back to the first half.
20 seconds and ticking. I think, well, I don't know what we're going to do. 6:30, the clock is stopped. We've got all our timeouts, and I think we're going to run this thing down, although we're not killing any clock, but we're going to take a timeout and talk about it.
All right, let's take a 30-second break, and we'll see what Shelby's decision is.
When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. Jam and J's
Golden Lions, they come out of the huddle with R.J. George and company. They're going for it. 4th and goal from the 2. 6:30 left ball game. Shelby up 21-20. Coach, what do you like here? They got that formation where Reed's in the eye behind George and Ussery's to his right. And they run the option to Reed, and he's going to go in untouched. The fake to Buck Ussery, and then a great pitch from George to Reed. And Chad goes in for a 2nd touchdown of the night from 2 yards out.
That was huge. That was huge.
Steve may have called that play. He's taking credit for it. 27-20, Golden Lions back up 7. And Richard Wright's extra point can make it an 8-point game and make it all that much tougher on the Hilltoppers. Still a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion looming. And the kick is up. It's a little bit sideways, but good. Golden Lions on top, 28-20. 6:24 left ball game. And we'll be back in 30 seconds for a Jam and J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant, featuring a pizza buffet and salad bar, a fantastic game room, and birthday parties. Jam and J's has gluten-free pizza, vegan cheese pizza. And now, try the La Nova wings in barbecue, hot and spicy, or oven roasted. And Jam & Jay's is the original home for the Livermus pizza. Want to eat at home and watch the game? Call for carryout at 704-600-6182. Jam & Jay's Pizza Factory, Highway 74 East, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby.
Little bit more breathing room. Still just an 8-point ball game here at Blanton Stadium. But Shelby with a big drive, Coach. They take about 5-6 minutes off the clock.
5 minutes and 16 seconds.
Big drive, kept their defense off the field, and stuck it in the end zone, more importantly, on that Chad Reed, Ed Green's construction, take it to the house touchdown run. Richard Wright's kickoff on this wet, soggy field is taken at the 10-yard line by Tate, and Tate's found a seam up the right side. He gets tripped up just about the 34, 35-yard line. RS will take over there, 66 yards away from potentially tying this game up.
It was tough. Ball's starting to get a little bit heavy. Turf is starting to give way just a little bit. It was a nice high kick by Richard Wright, and I think we've got another injured, looks like 2 injured players.
A couple of Hilltoppers, I think. Anyway, Steve Roberts, let's take a minute break because this one looks like it could take a minute. Back in 1 minute with this injury timeout.
Do you know what Putnam Distributor sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that drugs like marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, and inhalants are the drugs of choice among our teens. They break hearts, break homes, and destroy childhood dreams. It's not just someone else's child, it could be yours. If you're not talking to your children about drugs, doesn't it make you wonder who is? TAC and Cleveland County Transit would like to wish all of our Cleveland County school athletic teams good luck this year.
Man for our Central on that kickoff. If you're watching on Ustream or on the internet, you saw that he kind of got tripped kind of up in the midair. May have landed a little funny. Nonetheless, he's down over on the RS sideline and has been down for the last minute and a half. Now he's being helped off the field. And that, if it is Tyrese Tate, could be a huge blow if he's not able to continue on. He's had a fantastic football game for the Hilltoppers at that quarterback spot, at the defensive back spot, at the return man spot.
So I see number 9, Trey Clark, coming on the field. He's the other person listed as a quarterback on the roster. Plays defensive back, so he's been in the game all night. So it's not like he's a guy that's been sitting around, on the sideline the whole time. So he's been in the game, but he's definitely not been in the game at quarterback. So we're going to see what he's got going here. And so here we are with 6:16 left in the ball game. Shelby leading 28-20.
And it's Clark under center, and just like you'd expect when a new guy comes in, it's a little bit of it is a fumbled snap, and Clark has to fall on it, and that's going to lose a yard for the Hilltoppers.
Now, what Central was doing is they were running the buck sweep, and that's one of the nice things about when you have a package that's just a straight sweep like that. You can bring in second team, third team, fifth team quarterback, and if he can get that snap, all he has to do is turn around and hand it to somebody. He doesn't have to make any read or anything. And so they were trying to get his feet wet.
2nd and 11, and Shelby into the neutral zone. Shelby is an aggressive defense, and they've been whistled for that numerous times in all 4 ball games now.
Well, the good thing is that is the first penalty that we've had in the second half. I mean, we had 8 penalties in the first half. Now we've had 1 penalty in the second half. Of course, Central's been moving the ball pretty well, so that we hadn't been making any penalties. We hadn't been making a lot of big plays either. So,
second down 6, and again the ball's on the ground. That was a handoff to Whitesides,
and that is not the quarterback's fault. That was he handed the ball off, and Whitesides just dropped it, and so now Central is in a real bad situation, third down and just over 10 yards. And so after the 5-yard penalty that we gave them, they lost 5 yards on that play. So this is third down and over 10, and it looks – I thought Central was taking their last time out, but they're not.
Well, actually in the game, but only to go to the wideout spot. Clark in at quarterback in the shotgun this time. 2 receivers right and left. And he's going to launch it deep, and he overshoots it. Picked off Demario Houston at the 30, up to the 35, 40. He cuts back up, 45, 50. May have gotten face mask. He's cutting back across the field to the left now, and he's still on his feet. Finally, pile drive down. That was a heck of a return by Demario. He went several different ways.
I'll tell you what, the official thought about it. When the quarterback released the ball, pretty much as soon as he released it, he got just smacked down by one of the big defensive tackles. They're both so big, I didn't catch which one it was. And I didn't see the interception because I was looking and I was watching the head referee kind of reach for that flag and then sort of shook his head. He thought about calling a roughing the passer penalty, and if it had been, it would have been one of those, leading with the head things because it wasn't late. So we luckily they didn't call that.
First and 10, Shelby from the RS-49, and it's a handoff around the end of Chad Reed. He's breaking tackles everywhere, and he's into the secondary to 35-25. Chad Reed with a heck of a run all the way down inside the 25 to the 23, and that's a pickup of 26 yards for the senior. What a run. And a Pegram Insurance first down for the Golden Lions. And yet another player down.
Another Central player down.
So let's take a 30-second break. Steve Roberts, another injury timeout.
Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware. Everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Back for this from an injury timeout. There's another Hilltopper on the ground. This all the way over at the Shelby sideline. Can't get a number yet. I can tell you it's not Matt Ashley. So he's been down a few times, but now some RS trainers coming to help out as well. And it's been a rough night for injuries, Coach.
This is
both sides.
This is more injury timeouts than I can ever remember having in quite some time, and it's partly because of the crazy weather here, and there's been some big hits, and it's not been a pretty game. It's not. This is not one of those games that you're going to say that that you might get a tape of and say, hey, I'm going to go back and watch that Shelby RS Central game back in the regular season in 2014, because it was such a beautifully played football game, but the most important thing for Shelby's perspective is they need to get a win, and we're not out of the woods yet. We're leading 28-20. There's 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. We've got the ball down inside the 25-yard line, and we've made some big plays right now. But it's important that Shelby finish this thing out, and looks like we're bringing big number 99 into the huddle, Nick Terrell, maybe as a tight end. And, it would be really surprising if Shelby was going to try to throw the ball anymore, for the rest of this night, because, we've got that lead, and we're trying to hang on to it. And again, 28-20, Shelby leads, 4:13 left in the ball game, and they're still, they're not allowing the young man to move. I mean, I've seen him move, but they're around his head. There's a trainer that's got his helmet, holding his helmet, and so it's a. And again, the player's moving his hands. He's reaching up and grasping the hands of one of the trainers, and now they are now sitting him up. And so it's just it has been a really interesting night, and again, not tremendously beautiful football, but it's been hard nosed, and both teams have gone at it as hard as they can, and we still can't see the number yet.
Player is on his feet for RS. Helmet intact or on his head.
And it's almost looking like it's number 25. So it's number 25, and that is Eli Shipman, one of the linebackers for Central. And it looks very similar to the situation we had back in the first half with actually early in the second half with Justin Turner. And so he is making his way on his own. One of the coaches has kind of got him by the elbow, but he's walking slowly back over to the Central sideline. So Shelby now 4:13. We should wind the clock here, and so Shelby won't have to snap it again till inside 4 minutes left.
And Shelby does come out with a tight end, and that is Nick Terrell. He's on the right side of the line. And then now Shelby in kind of a T formation with running backs flanked on each side, and the handoff is to Chad Reed, and he's got blockers, and he's down inside the 15-yard line as he went right over that right side where Terrell was, and it also had Ustry as the lead blocker.
Yeah, a little bit of a. I'm sorry, Brent, I interrupt you there. A little bit of a sweep that time. It's not it's not the old sweep where you pull both guards or things, but it's it's basically a sweep, and you've got a tight end that's trying to hook a man. You got a lead blocker leading, and that was really well blocked, and that is a first down for the Golden Lions, and they have answered the bell now since they had that. Since they got that ball back with a one point lead, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first downs now, all rushing.
And it's a Pegram Insurance first down and 10 from the 13. High snap handled, and again to Reed, and again this over the right side with Ustry, the lead blocker, and Terrell at tight end, and he's inside the 10 to about the 8. So that's a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, I think he's actually all the way down to the 7. So, again, almost a 6-yard pickup, and that's a good-looking play right there.
It is, and it's to the short side of the field, but
Shelby's
to the strong
actually,
side of the line.
And now, Shelby's actually in a huddle. not a true huddle because they really don't huddle, but they're actually in the closest thing that Shelby will ever be into a huddle. They're now making their way, and they're going to have to hurry because we're inside 3 seconds left on the clock. Get it off.
Same play, Reed around the right side, and he runs over one lineman almost to the end zone. Actually, they're going to call him out at about the 3, and now he's holding the leg, and that's not good for the Golden Lions. Let's see if they're marking it at the 3, and that's going to be close to another first down. And now Reed's up, and they're going to measure. So he's close enough for them to bring the chains over and see if he gets it, Coach. It's a first and goal from the 3.
Jaden Hopper also was down on the ground, but he got up, big number 74, and he's back in the huddle. I really thought that Chad got farther down than that. I was expecting it to be down about the 2 or the 1, but again, they're in that area where it's really hard for us to see. But he's definitely to the 3, maybe inside the 3, and it.
Well, he lowered the shoulder as if I thought he was barreling over a guy to get to the end zone, and they dragged him out of bounds. They're tightening the chain. I mean, it's so close. I don't even know if they can tell if it's a first down or not. I mean,
maybe
it's that close.
Maybe one of those take a credit card out and slide it down to see if it touches the football. They're going to say it's about 1/2 of the chain link, and most important thing is it's third down, right? Or is it second down?
Third down.
Third down. The box still says second down, and we've had some first downs here in the last little while. I kind of lost count of what down it is.
3rd and 1. He got 5 on first, and then or 6 on first down. Then I guess we'll have to only give him 3 there, since he's a chain link short. And now Shelby with Dax Hollifield in at running back along with Buck Ussery, and Chad Reed's out of the ball game. Same play. RJ keeps it this time, and he's going to be slung down. I don't know if he got there. It's going to be close.
Tell you what's interesting is the box still said second down, and I think it was third down, wasn't it?
It was definitely third down, and they're going to measure again. It was third down because Reed ran it on first down and on second down, and then that was R.J. George on third down. So if they don't get it, it's 4th and 1.
Well, we know it's 4th down. Scoreboard still says third down. What's most important is the man holding the box over on the sideline. It says third down. Well, what do we know? We do know that Shelby leads right now 28-20, and there are 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in the ballgame.
I think this time he got it. Well, first down.
So that is the 16th first down. 9 of them here in the second half, 8 of them here in the fourth quarter.
And that first down may have just, well, it's definitely going to help Shelby. I mean, they can run even some more clock here, and a fresh set of downs. So Chad Reed back in the ball game, and Hollifield in at tight end now.
So we got double tights and 1 flanker. 2 backs flanking quarterback R.J. George.
In the shotgun, and it's a handoff to the left side, and it's a foot race. Chad Reed to the end zone. Is he going to get there? And he does. Touchdown, Chad Reed from 3 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 2nd rushing. And the Golden Lions finally may have the breathing room they need. And I miscalled that. It's his 2nd touchdown of the game, 1 rushing and 1 receiving, because it was Buck that has 2 touchdowns rushing tonight. But that was the 21st carry of the ball game for Chad Reed, a career high.
34-20, extra point upcoming. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and
Kick's
the kick
good.
is good.
Score is Shelby 35, RS Central 20, 2:12 to go. Back in 30 seconds for a Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Do you have a lot of old medications piling up? Most people do. Then get rid of them and do it safely. Drop off your old medications in the new medication drop box, now located inside Falston Pharmacy in Falston. All medications will be disposed of by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. It's easy. Just clean out your medicine cabinet, bring them in the Falston Pharmacy, and just drop them in the box. And while you're there, get your Burns Bulldog football apparel. Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
Richard Wright's got it teed up for a Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff. Chad Reed with a 3-yard Ed Green construction, take it to the house touchdown. And your Golden Lions lead RS Central 35-20 with 2:12 left on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, Coach. A big touchdown drive for the Golden Lions.
Huge touchdown drive for the Golden Lions, and rain is still coming down as Richard reaches the ball, kicks it, and it's a good kick. It's going to go inside the 5. It's going to be dropped, picked up in the end zone, and he falls down. And so that was just about everything that could go wrong for Central went wrong that time. So the ball was touched about the 3-yard line, got out of his hands, rolled into the end zone, picked it up, and ran it back out to about the 8-yard line. So that's a very effective kick for the Golden Lions.
And looky here. Do I see number 2 back out on the field? Maybe. Nope. It's Trey Clark.
Yeah, number 9.
So Clark back out at quarterback for RS. I was hoping it was Tate because I'd like to see that he's okay. but it is Clark. Actually in the game as well, so 2:05 to go. Golden Lions up 15. It hasn't been easy, hasn't been pretty.
But it has been effective.
But it has been effective. And our first down is McIntyre, and he's into the Shelby secondary, and tackle made by Dax Hollifield out at the 20. That's a pickup of 13 and a first down. McIntyre's most effective run of the night. And it's under 2 minutes to play here. Shelby juggling players in and out. Reed's off the field, replaced by Poole. And hand off to Whitesides around the right side. Nick Terrell's got a beat on him, and he takes him down for probably no gain. Nice pursuit by the big defensive tackle, who just played a little tight end on offense.
Well, you know, it's always exciting when you play, when you play one side of the football and then you get a chance in a game to come in and make some good blocks. You know, he did a good job with his blocking, and so that makes the game a lot more fun.
2nd and 10. Clark hands it off to Ashley, and this time it's number 99, Nick Terrell again with a tackle. And this may be a gain of a couple, and that's it. So 2 stops in a row by 99.
I think Big Nick is saying, hey, if you let me play a little tight end, maybe I'll get my juices flowing, and I'll play a little bit more on defense as well.
3rd and 8, and RS content just to let this clock run out down to 50 seconds, and they're keeping it on the ground. Clark snap, hand off McIntyre, grab from behind and slowed down by, is that Chad Reed? No, that's Clay Husky with Darquez Lee in for the assist.
And that may be the last play. Maybe the last play of the game. The referee has not signaled the ball ready for play. He does now. There's inside of 25 seconds left. And Central has basically said, congratulations, Golden Lions. They may run one more play, but I'm not even sure they're going to do that.
Yeah, they don't have to. There's a two-second buffer, and they're going to let this run out. Final score, Shelby 35, RS Central 20. Golden Lions go to 3-1. Let's take a 3-minute break. We'll be back for our post-game show with the Okie Tire game recap, the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet, and we'll be back right after this message.
Comfortable just got more affordable. From Bill Schufert Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard. Keep cool this summer with one call to Bill Schufert Heating and Air and get up to $1,100 in rebates. Plus, ask about special financing available on famous American Standard equipment. Call 704-484-0025 or drop by their office at 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Get up to $1,100 in rebates now on American Standard. Bill Schufert Heating and Air and American Standard, where your comfort is our concern. They've got it all at the Bargain Station Outlet in Shelby. Planning to travel this year? Then come see the big line of luggage. Need small appliances for the kitchen? They've got that too. How about toys for the kids? They've got a big stock of toys, plus jewelry and watches too. Like we said, they've got it all at the Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet. The Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet, located at 4400 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right next to Honda Motorcycles. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Don't forget the name, the Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet.
Beaver Dam Auto Auction is a family-owned and operated business that has been open for 32 years. Auctions are open to dealers and the public. Beaver Dam is located on 16 paved acres with 4 lanes under one roof. Sales are held every Wednesday at 7 p.m. with vehicle previews starting at 9 a.m. on the day of the sale. Beaver Dam Auto Auction, just off Highway 74 West at 107 Webb Road, Shelby. And dealers, bring titles and inspected vehicles to sell to the public and get rid of that old inventory. Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
Keep cool this summer and save cash too with a new Train from Forest City Heating and Air in Forest City. Hurry in now and check out the great deals from Train. Now you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months.
It was in doubt till late in the ball game, but the Golden Lions pull it out in the end.
Well, the takeaway, my takeaway on the whole thing was Shelby got the ball with 11:40 left in the ball game. They had just given up back-to-back touchdowns. Their lead was 21-20. All the momentum was on Central side. Shelby took the ball on their own 23-yard line and held the ball for 5 minutes and 16 seconds, put it in for a touchdown, kicked the extra point, stopped Central the next time, took the ball on their 49-yard line, held it for 2 minutes and 13 seconds, scored another touchdown. And all that was on the ground. All that was on the ground. And it was a thing of beauty, not because I like us to run the ball. It was a thing of beauty because the conditions had deteriorated to where it was going to be difficult to throw a pass. And Central had done a really nice job of blitzing where they needed to. They did a great job of defending what the Golden Lions wanted to do in the passing game. And, sometimes your passing game just doesn't work. And that was what was going on with the Golden Lions here in the second half. And I got to tell you, I was really impressed because what Shelby did was they got into a couple of formations that took a lot of Central defenders out of the box. And by doing that, then they were able to make the blocks that were able to spring the big plays. We also saw Shelby do a few things that we hadn't seen them do yet. We saw a couple of sweeps. We saw a couple of fake the sweep and George keep the ball. And we saw a triple option out of the shotgun. And I tell you what, it was a beautiful play. And I was even more impressed because I hadn't seen Shelby run it all year. And what we've got is we've got a wet football. It's 4th and goal. And RJ read the pitch. But before he read the pitch, he read the dive. And that's not something that we've asked RJ to do. Now, I could be wrong. It might have been a double option, might have been the call. But he put the ball on the belly of the halfback and rode him in, and that's what gave us the room to make the pitch. And it was a perfect pitch. And I tell you what, when you pitch that ball, things can happen. And in this case, something really good happened. It was a perfect pitch, taken in stride, good stalk block by the split end, and we walked into the end zone, and that was a huge play. And so a lot of the fourth quarter was a much better thing to see from the Golden Lion perspective than the rest of the football game. While Brent's trying to finish up his stats, I'll go ahead and do the Okies Tire and game recap. And there for a while, I didn't know if there'd be a lot of scoring, but turns out to be a pretty good scoring game. First quarter, 3 days ago, with 10:02 left in the first quarter, Buck Ushery had a 5-yard touchdown run. Wright's point after touchdown made it 7-0. Tonight, with 6:48 left in the first half, Chad Reed had a 75-yard pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it 14-0. With 2:24 left in the first half, actually of RS Central hauled in a 58-yard pass from Tyrese Tate, and the point after was blocked. Shelby led 14-6. Early in the third quarter, after a blocked punt and a ill-fated kick of the ball out of the back of the end zone. Shelby got the ball first and goal on the 1-yard line, and Buck Usry scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. Wrights Point after made it 21-6. Then RS Central awakened, and with 7:38 left in the third quarter, Adele hauled in a 59-yard pass from Tate. The pass failed. Shelby led 21-12. Then with 11:40 left in the ball game, Adele had another 54-yard touchdown pass from Tate, and then Tate had a beautiful fade route into the back corner of the end zone and actually hauled that in for the 2-point conversion, and Shelby led 21-20. And from that point, Shelby ran the ball quite effectively. With 6:24 left in the ball game, Reed had a 2-yard run on a perfectly pitched option pitch. Wrights Point after made it 28-20. And with 2:12 left in the game, Reed had a 3-yard touchdown run. Wrights Point after made it 35-20. And so the most important thing, Shelby got a victory. You don't get extra points for style. You don't get extra points for beauty. The way you get to the playoffs is by doing well in your conference. Shelby's 1-0 in the conference right now, and they got a very short week until they play that game that the Shelby coaches never like to talk about. But since I'm not a coach anymore, I can talk about it. They're going to go to Chase, and everybody knows Chase and Shelby have been playing for about 167 years now, and Chase has tied Shelby once, but there has never been a victory by Chase. And we're hoping 4 days from now at about this time we can say that streak continues.
Yes, it is that game coming up, and I played golf with a Chase coach last year who was, I think, the coach when they tied and when they lost to us by 1 point when they tried to go for 2. So I know there's been some close ones over the years, but like you said, the tie is the closest they've gotten. The Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet, and I'll let you look at my players of the game and see if you approve. You can change them if you like. We'll start with RS Central. Matt Ashley had 15 carries for 38 yards. Tyrese Tate, 14 carries for 35 yards. Desmond Whiteside, 7 carries for 3 yards. Tyron McIntyre, 7 carries for 34 yards. Trey Clark, 1 carry for -1. 44 carries for 129 yards for RS. Passing, Tate, 6 of 12, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Whitesides was 0 for 1, and Trey Clark was 0 for 1 with an interception. So overall passing, 6 for 14, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Receiving, Devin Adele, 3 catches, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matt Ashley, 1 catch, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Spencer Norris, 1 catch for 13 yards. Desmond Whitesides, 1 catch for 5 yards. That's 346 total yards for RS tonight, with 129 on the ground, 217 in the air. Shelby led Chad Reed, 22 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. R.J. George, 10 carries, 46 yards, 1 lost fumble. And Buck Usry, 7 carries, 26 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Shelby with 177 yards on 39 carries and 4 rushing touchdowns against 1 lost fumble. In the air, George, 6 for 15, 193 yards and a touchdown. Chad Reed, 2 catches, 95 yards, including a touchdown. Cavassier Shell, 1 catch for 56 yards. Jaden Borders, 2 catches for 22 yards. And Devin Gillette, 1 catch for 20. So let's see, added up, 370 total for Shelby, with 177 on the ground, 193 in the air.
Let me ask you a question, Brent. How many yards did you say that RJ ended up with?
193, all in the first half.
All right. How many yards did he have on the ground? Because at halftime he was negative some number, right?
-7, ended up with 46.
Okay, so he had 53 yards rushing in the second half. And, you know, the rushing stats for RJ are always going to be somewhat skewed because in high school and in college, when you get a sack, instead of in the pros, when you sack the quarterback, that is passing yardage. And so if the quarterback throws 100 yards on 2 series and suffers 2 sacks, he's got 80 yards passing. In high school, the quarterback has the 100 yards passing, but he ends up with negative 20 rushing. And so RJ has been in the negative numbers all year because he's been sacked a few times. And one of the things that happened to him tonight was he just dropped the ball and fell on it. Now, he fell on it, yay. Back on Friday when this game started, he dropped the ball and lost the fumble. And so he had about 17, there were like 2 plays, he had negative 17 yards. But what I found interesting was when they needed to, RJ made some good decisions and had a couple of options and ran the ball, pulled the ball out of the belly, and did some really nice things. And I tell you what, that run that he made, and I'm looking down the field just at about the 40-yard line, he had made the first down, and he made a great move and took that thing all the way down inside the 10, and that really was, in a lot of ways, the play I think that broke the back of RS Central's defense. And so it was really nice to see RJ, make some good decisions in the run game.
No doubt about it. Our players of the game tonight, we'll start special teams player of the game, sponsored by Enloe Mortuary, and probably slighted him last week, but Richard Wright, 5 for 5 on PATs tonight, punted the ball extremely well, and I gave a kind of a player of the game to Clay Husky because he had that big block punt that resulted in the weird play where Ashley kicked it through the back of the end zone and Shelby got a 1st and goal at the 1, and that was a big play.
Well, let me tell you the thing
Shelby.
about one of the things, we've talked a lot about, how great Richard's done as far as punting the ball. And again, he had 3 punts tonight, and one of them was tremendous pressure, and he ended up with about 39.5-yard average for punting. And anytime you're over 35 in high school, that's a great job. And he's not getting any kind of returns on those things. And another thing about Richard, for a long time I worked with kickers here at Shelby. And we've had some kickers that have had some gaudy statistics, but a lot of those have been because they've kicked it 65 yards, they've kicked it 60, they kicked a lot in the end zone. Richard rarely kicks it in the end zone, but when he kicks it, he kicks it 59, 58, 57, and he has enough height on it that we're doing a great job on the coverage. And, we talked about earlier in the game that Richard kicked it, and the central player just backed away from it. And, let the ball bounce on the 1 to go in the end zone because he said we can't get it back to the 20. And so I think Richard definitely is highly deserving of the player of the game as far as not the player of the game, but special teams player of the game because he just does so many things. And he's such a weapon for the Golden Lions right now.
I agree with you there wholeheartedly. Defensive player of the game sponsored by the J. Morgan Company. A couple of guys we called out, Siobhan Miller a few times early, Nick Terrell late, but we're going to give it to Demario Houston with a 2-interception game that he had tonight. Our defensive player of the game, Demario Houston. And I'm going to switch things up a little bit. Offensive player of the game, R.J. George. 193 yards passing in the first half, and then he switched gears and, like you said, had 53 yards rushing in the second half, including the backbreaker, and led the team really to victory there at the end with some smart play. And then I'm going to say SNR and that offensive player of the game, sponsored by Carolina Energies. And our overall players of the game, we're going to give it to Chad Reed and Buck Ushery. The two combined for 4 rushing touchdowns tonight, over 120 yards. They blocked for each other all night long, and it was a big performance from the running backs tonight.
What I like about Ushery and Reed, and you touched on it, they block for each other, and neither one, has the big head as far as, I'm the runner, you're the blocker. I mean, they both block very well for each other. They both go out and catch the ball. They are exactly what you want in this offense, and so very well deserved, both Buck Ushery and Chad Reed.
And so that's going to wrap it up for our in-stadium post-game show, and join us next Friday night, 7 o'clock.
4 days from now.
4 days from now, yeah. Friday night, it's Monday night. So it's the game that Chase has circled. Shelby wants to not be known for the first team to lose to Chase. and that's this group of 2014 Golden Lions. So join us next Friday night at 7 o'clock for Jeff Jones and Stephen Degree. This is Brent Pasco signing off. Steve Roberts back at Radio Central. And, again, your final score on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, your Shelby Golden Lions 35, our Central Hilltoppers 20. See you next week.
On qualifying credit approval and qualifying equipment. Coming to Forest City Heating and Air for all the details. Give them a call at 828-245-1379. That's 828-245-1379. Forest City Heating and Air, serving Cleveland County and Rutherford counties for over 30 years. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. It's Corks and Taps for Hospice. Thursday night, October 16th, at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. Corks and Taps is a special wine and beer tasting event and auction, and there will be special music by Swing 30 and the Black Coffee Trio, plus food provided by Smoke on the Square. Tickets are $30 in advance or $35 at the door, and are available at Hospice of Cleveland County in Shelby, the Kings Mountain Hospice House, or the Hospice Store on East Marion Street in Shelby. For more information, call Hospice at 704-487-4677. Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday, October 16th. Old Man Winter is just around the corner. Are you ready? It's time to get ready with a stop at Future Energy Company in Shelby. Take a look at the line of Menneson vent-free gas logs, bringing you warmth,